Hey everybody, real quick, apparently I only have 11% on this camera. Yeah, I gotta start charging this thing more often. And I've been having issues with it. Not sure why. But, the video I'm about to show you is actually about maybe 3 months old. I just now getting it to you. So it was actually taken before the one with the Ford Galaxy. I went through the comments, appreciate everybody's input and what you thought I paid for it. One person was a little bit closer than everybody else. He actually went over a little bit. Sean Wan, I believe his name was. I'll figure out a way to get a hold of you and get you some of them awesome stickers if you want them. I paid $42.50 for the car, which I thought was a deal, but according to some of you, I paid way too much. But it's okay. It's okay that we don't all like the same kind of car. So, you know, I thought it was a steal for what it is. Original paint, solid as can be, runs and drives fantastic. It's got some aftermarket parts on it, so I'm super happy with it. And previous owner actually did all the work to the car, actually left a comment, so that's even cooler. So anyways, let's get into this video. It's the 2013 Mustang GT I took apart in preparation to do a drivetrain swap on a Pvt.Pile. Oh yeah, this is where the motor and trans is coming from to put into Pvt.Pile. Oh, hope you enjoy it, and talk to you later. All right, so here we are starting on this one. So this car is actually going to be the donor for Pvt.Pile. The 1971 Ford Custom four-door sedan, ex-military car. This motor and trans is going to go in Pvt.Pile. Why this motor and trans? Well, I think it's pretty obvious, I think. Because of that blue boot. It's totally because of that blue boot. That's the whole reason I'm doing it. Just shiny blue boot. It's pretty sweet. And those rubber gloves. That's why. And this lamp. Yeah, well, obviously it's got a Pro Charger. And I don't know if you can see from here, maybe from the other side, someone has something else that it showed up with. I don't know if you can see down in there, but it's got a T56 Magnum XL swap on it. So that's like a, I don't know, I think like a $6,000 swap. So that transmission will hold up much better behind this motor than MT82. But after I bought it, I was doing some online snooping, and I found a for sale ad from the previous owner listing all the modifications done to this thing. And I didn't know at the time until I saw it. It also has aftermarket fuel injectors. Apparently it's got different rods and pistons in the motor, and the billet oil pump gear, and all kinds of stuff supposedly. So this is a pretty good motor. Yes, I heard it run. I believe it's got cams in it also. Well, I'm pretty excited about this one. I don't know what that noise was, but I'm just gonna ignore it. So he's starting on this, and I gotta get going. It's end of the day, but I'll be back here tomorrow to pick up on wherever he left off, probably. But this one I already sold. I don't think I sold anything off this one yet. No, I didn't. The door was already off the car pretty much when I got it. It's got leather seats, the airbags blown out on the drivers. I found someone that could actually fix those for me. This one's got the premium cluster in it, so that's worth a little bit more money. But I'll go through all that with you guys. Yeah, the intercooler actually fared pretty well. It's got his brackets bent, and it's got a couple little dingers in it. But besides that, it's in good shape. So I'm pretty excited about that. This intercooler piping not so much. Radiator is tweaked, but it does have an aftermarket fan kit on it, and I bet you that'd be pretty easy to straighten out. So, like I said, pretty excited about getting started on this one. I gotta go for now, so see you guys in just a few seconds here. Well, it'll be a few seconds for you, not me. And we'll see how far Neil got today in the future. Yeah, I know. Starting to look familiar. It's like deja vu. Mustang parts. Well, Neil got a little bit done on the engine side of things. Disconnected some harnesses and got some sheet metal out of the way. I've been tackling the interior. And the reason I haven't shown you much in here, well, not exactly the best lighting conditions for taking videos. This black interior just sucks all the light out of this warehouse. So I can hold a camera in one hand, I can hold this little Milwaukee light in the other, but I can't get any work done. But I'm about to tackle the center console and the stereo. I might end up pulling the dash out of this one too. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna get this interior taken care of and go from there. All right, I'm done for today. Tripping over stuff. Things following me, trying to kill me. Got the harness all the way out on both sides. Dashboard out. Center console out. Shifter out. What else? Various modules and whatnot. Oh, pedal assemblies out. Interior's pretty much done, I think. Still gotta do the fuel pump. It does have an aftermarket fuel pump in it. I already checked on that. I think this one's got some sort of like boosted pump module in the trunk as well, like the other one did. Although it's not a Roush one, I can't remember what kind it was offhand. But I stayed here way later than I thought I was going to today, and I got my son here today, but he actually likes hanging out here. He was actually helped me with the car a little while ago. Oh, he wants to be helpful. Let's see. Well, besides pulling this drivetrain her end and the good suspension, because check this thing out. That thing is that thing's gone. Actually made an entrance over here. It was sticking out of here earlier. It's like, hello, motherfuckers. Yeah, something like that. More room in here. Check inside this trunk. That's what happens when you have a car with no driver's door in your backyard under a cover. Yeah, cats got in there. And I believe raccoons and possums, and yeah. Luckily they didn't make a nest in there, so that's pretty nice. Thought this one had something in the trunk like the other one did, but maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong. Maybe I'm just thinking about the other one. Left me a tire. Oh yeah, it does. See? No, I was right. fuel pump voltage booster. Yeah, so I gotta get all that out of here too. Yeah, so I guess I'll continue on with this tomorrow. We're gonna get home and go relax. All right, another day in the same Mustang. Working on getting this door off. In case you're taking apart one of these cars, you're wondering how the door harness comes apart. Well, pull this little boot back. I guess I should have showed you before. You pull this little boot back from around this harness, which sits in here, and then got little tabs that hold this into the door jamb. Pretty much just little tabs. Get little tabs, squeeze little tabs together, and pull this out. Then undo this latch, and the whole harness pulls apart. Pretty easy once you get it figured out. And then there's I think four bolts that hold the hinges on. You could either do these or you can do the ones in here. And there's also like a door strap on the inside over here. And it's got two 8mm bolts that hold it to the car. You gotta get those out first. Because don't get all this apart and then realize there's something else still holding it on. I was on the fence about keeping this door. It's got a little dent here, a little dent here. But other than that, it's in good shape. I sold the driver's door off the white car. I got 300 bucks out of it, so that guy even said that he was leery of my post since it was so cheap. Apparently everybody else wants $700 or $800, so he was expecting the door in really bad shape. So apparently I sell stuff too cheap, go figure. But yeah, so as long as I get probably two and a half out of this door, I think that's gonna be totally possible. Hey, every little bit helps. Especially since this car in particular, I'm not going to have as much sellable stuff off of it. Well, sellable stuff that I actually want to sell. So I don't think I'm going to make as much back off of this one. Because the transmission I'm keeping, the motor, the supercharger, the etc, etc. I might sell the drive shaft. It's got an aluminum drive shaft in it. And I think it might have a locker or something in the rear end, because I was trying to move it in here and turn it real tight, and their rear end was not cooperating at all. Which makes me think it's either got a spool or a locker in it, which is totally possible. And unfortunately, I think only the wheels on this side of the car are salvageable, and they're staggered. So unless I find someone needing like this specific size wheel and tire, well, this specific size wheel more so, I don't think I'm gonna do very good selling them. The tires are actually, no, the three tires are in great shape. The left front showed up pretty bad shape. I think I got rid of it right away. But three wheels and tires are in good shape. So there's, you know, again, I only have two wheels are in good shape. The three tires are in good shape. So again, I only have one good front tire. It's a shame, it's really good shape. One good front wheel, one good rear wheel, and two good rear tires. So there's no money in these wheels and tires, unfortunately. They're Vossen, supposedly real expensive, but who knows. Big brake kit. Never mind the Willwood decals. Yes, I said decals. These are the same Brembo brakes that are on the white car that I just took apart. Just someone put Willwood decals on the front calipers for some stupid reason. I don't know. why would you put Willwood decals on Brembo calipers? It's kind of dumb. I mean, Brembo's still cool, right? Whatever. To each their own. This one does have aftermarket suspension in the back. I believe upper and lower control arms. Tubular K-member in the front, and coilovers all the way around. But like I showed you a little while ago, the left front strut is yeah, it tried to escape the vehicle. So again, I guess all the rear coilovers, but maybe I'll throw in the right front with whoever buys the rears, and I don't know, maybe they can use it, who knows. But I'm trying to get motivated today, so just doing small stuff right now. Moved the box truck outside because they're supposed to be like mid-30s out all week, so I think I'm safe parking it outside for a few days. Give me some room in here to work on this. Well, alright, well, let's get back to work, I guess. And like that, no moss door. I think I'm gonna pull these guys off next. Apparently these splitters are like like 250 bucks a set or something. You know, just the pieces that go up underneath the rocker covers. So should be able to sell those with or without the rocker covers. So this car was hit pretty hard, and still had pressure in the AC system. Found out the hard way. We'll just leave it at that. I'm gonna say these things look pretty nice, actually. Like, they don't look cheap. They look like good OEM quality, and tag's not legible, but right there, what does it say? Does it focus? It says Roush. So these are Roush splitters. So well, should be pretty easy to sell. One would imagine. All right, what's next? A little dirty there. Oh, skipped ahead. Got the brakes off on the driver's side. Want to show you just how screwed up this spindle was, and that tie rod, and the strut. The spring looks okay. K-member looks okay too. I looked all over it. I don't see any bent tabs. Oh, I don't see any paint flaking off the K-member. I think the K-member is totally fine. I think this spindle, this tie rod took the spindle, strut, tie rod assembly took the brunt of the impact, wherever it hit. If you know who used to own this car, I'd love to hear what happened to it. Besides the obvious, I mean, did he hit a crowd of people? Did he flip the thing? Did he run through a tree row? I mean, it'd be interesting to know what happened to it. The car came out of North Carolina, I believe, and it was either from North Carolina or Georgia, one of the two. So, but it was on a North Carolina title, and the previous seller was in Georgia, I believe. So, recognize this car. You know what happened to it. I'd love to hear about it. Well, we might have an okay coilover kit, because I think just the strut broke. Spring looks totally fine. It's not bent at all. And caster camber plate, or camber plate, whatever you want to call it, is totally fine as well. Just has a piece of strut stuck to it. This piece has a few scratches. Strut, however, is I'm no expert, but I don't think it's supposed to be bent that way. Well, besides the strut, we have a partial coilover kit. Because yeah, I didn't realize that the strut is actually different. I'm used to the old Fox body ones where they actually put like a kit onto the original strut, and I think these are actually aftermarket struts. Oh, never mind. In case you're wondering what the strut's supposed to look like, as opposed to the other side. Looking at the tabs on this side, the K-member, they look the same as on that side, so I think the K-member is totally fine. Which is awesome because that's more stuff I don't need that I could sell for money. Alright, well, wash, rinse, repeat. Let's get this side apart. Had to take a short break. Watched Silas's new video. Thanks for the shout out, Silas. I really appreciate it. Like, no, I really appreciate it. I teared up a little bit. It was, yeah. It was pretty cool. Anywho, got the brakes off both sides. Got this front crossover out with the sway bar. Still need to disconnect the drive shaft. And what else? Drive shaft, transmission cross member, and the K-member bolts. And this motor and trans will be ready to come out. I think. Yeah, it should be. Should be able to just pull forward like I did on the other one. Hopefully I don't have to pull the blower off. I'm going to try not to at least. Alright, well, see what else I can get done today. Alright, bring you guys under here with me. Can't say I never do any work. Trying to get dry shaft bolts off. It's got this fancy was it dry shaft shop? Dry shaft? Aluminum? Check this out. What the heck did this guy do to this car? Look at that. Just look at it. That is crazy. Like the X-pipe imploded. It also has gray, that's industrial gray paint that's on it. Like the Rust-Oleum gray that they paint like utility boxes with and stuff. That's exactly what that is. Okay, ran something over, landed on something. I don't know, man. But look at that T56 though. Alright, and look at, see, it's got like dry shaft shop sticker on it. Little dude stuck inside a dry shaft. It's crazy. Alright, back to work. So I'm laying underneath the car and I'm looking on the floor, the warehouse, and I'm like, is that a wedding band laying there? It's a 14 karat gold wedding band. I think it fell out of this car. So if you know whose car this is, tell them I might have their wedding band. Give it to them in exchange for knowing what the hell happened to this car. Because this thing's all kinds of screwed up. Did you see that X-pipe? Jeez. Yeah. 14 karat gold wedding band. I ain't arguing with that.
Well, I guess still the fuel out of here, and I'm using a jump pack. Couldn't find a wiring diagram, so I just, you know, took a logical guess. These thicker wires were for the pump, not the sending unit. A piece of hose, and voila! I'm filling this tank. So yeah, and make sure if you get it jammed in there and it's a really tight fit, you have the old school kind of tank. I was actually pressurizing this tank. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so. Yeah, don't do that. Might make a funny noise. All right.
Perfect. Lots of room now. All right, what do you think? Is it gonna do things?
The only thing that's really gonna obstruct us is this, but that might move.
Yeah, we should probably have to come down a little bit. Woohoo!
It's out of that. Trans is still. No, it's low. Okay. It just has too much
Alright,
in
go.
the front here. Maybe we try and we'll get a strap and strap the transmission to the pedal chain. Track the angle thing.
It's in there, huh?
Or
Lob this section of frame rail off.
oh no, I was gonna say jack up the car. No.
We can get that boot off.
Yeah. Trans is just too high though. Where is it? Oh god.
It did move.
It did move. So. Oh. Yeah, it's definitely sitting in a mess. But it's cleared from the bolts though.
Oh, here we go. Let me watch you.
What do we got here? What is this thing? Round? This is nothing.
And then coolant lines. Don't really need them.
Disconnect pretty easy. I could just do this one here. The thing.
Oh, let me put the camera down and give you a hand.
How does that work?
Huzzah. It tells me I might pull forward a little easier now.
No, good stuff. It's leaking.
It's bleeding.
Oh.
Huh. We forgot something, didn't we?
AC line?
Oh, AC line?
Edit it out.
Edit that out. Just pull harder.
Was that the 10 one?
Yeah, it should be. I don't think I had one out.
Let's just do the old slice and moves.
Okay, fine.
Of editing. I mean, editing.
It's stuck enough. Hold on. What was it? What are you sticking?
What is it? Look at this tube there.
Thought I did too.
Oh, it was hanging on something.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to its home. Alright.
And she out. Look at that pretty T56. pretty bell housing. Dong. Oh, let's see if that's done today. So what we think happened with this car must have been owned by Tony Hawk or some other professional skater, because they wanted to learn how to grind the rail with their car. Because well, I showed you the exhaust, right? It was kind of like screwed up, but
look, it's not supposed to be that high.
yeah, look at the exhaust. It's not supposed to be that close to the trans. But I was laying down under here. I'll show you guys. Oh, come on. Where's it at? Right there. Check that out. There's a hole under the car. Looks like somebody's like rode something. It's got like a scrape all the way back. Look, it's in the. That metal piece is tore. I think that's metal, right? Oh, it's plastic. That's tore. There's a hole over here. Yeah, somebody like, I don't know if they rode the guardrail on this thing or what, but like I said, if you know who owned this car, oh look at this, it's all pushed in. If you know who owned this car, I would love to hear what happened to it. Some pictures would be amazing. Which I'd love to know that its heart and soul is going to live on in something else. Hopefully no crowds were injured in the making of this wreck.
You veered away from the crowd into the rail.
You veered away from the crowd into the rail, yeah. But motor and trans is completely untouched.
Yeah, nice Pro Charger though. So nice.
Yeah.
I'll put the filter back on that later.
Oh, it's got built engine mounts. Right? Yeah, those are built ones, I think. Maybe they just go with the K member.
Wait, so are those solid then?
Yeah, they're solid.
I mean, it's got a solid rear mount?
No, it looks like it's got a.
No, it looks like a stock one, right?
Alright, yeah, the one tab on this is slightly askew. I'm sure somebody could fix it. But alright. That's where we're stopping today, I guess, because kind of ran out of time. I kind of got here today and I was really tired. I kind of fell asleep for like an hour and a half, so I kind of severely cut into our dismantling time.
Check the dipstick, dude. Uh-oh.
Low in oil.
You need to add. Yeah, it's low.
Yeah.
Put the add mark.
Fuck.
It's ruined. Put it back.
Put it back in.
Yep, get rid of it.
It's a goner.
Even though he started it and it sounded rowdy as hell.
Yeah, it sounded good. It's definitely got cams in it or something. Well, besides the blower, it's got something else done to it for sure. It sounded very rowdy. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately this car doesn't have as much that I'm going to be able to sell off of it, but still some pieces. The front K member is still sellable. Just that one tab is just ever so slightly pushed back. It didn't even like break the paint, so keeping the motor trans, obviously, blower. It has the other one had Roush cap back on it, or axle back, if you want to call it. This one's got like it's an actual kit though. I looked it up.
Wait, with the little red cherry bombs?
Not with the cherry bombs, just I thought that was a mouse. It's got like a axle back, quad tip exhaust wherever it went.
No, you figured it
I was over here.
Wait, is it on that part?
No. I thought I laid it over here.
I don't know.
Oh, here it is over here.
It's in the bin.
It's in the bin.
Edit it out.
But yeah, it's got like quad tip, axle back, muffler delete. So I looked them up. They're like 250 bucks new, so I imagine I should be able to get like half that back out of them. One decent door, I don't know, 150, 200 bucks. Got one complete front coilover with the camper plate. I don't know if it has value, but I'll find out. Center console was good. Passenger seat was good. I might try and put these seats in Pvt.Pile. They're really comfortable. How do I know they're really comfortable? How do I know they're really comfortable? Well, haven't been getting any sleep lately. Came in here, what, last week some point? I'm like, man, I gotta go sit down somewhere and lay down. And I fell right asleep in that seat. It was so comfy. I slept for like 3 hours too, so that was nice. And I woke up, my back didn't hurt or anything. Rear axle looks to be fine. It's got like lift bars on the rear end with some aftermarket control arms and coilovers, so all that stuff will be for sale. But I mean, I'd be surprised if I'm able to pull like, honestly, I'll be surprised if I'm able to pull like 12 to 1500 bucks back out of this one for, like, you know, what it has to offer that I'm going to sell off of it. Well, we'll just keep it at like 1500 bucks and shoot for the best. But I definitely got my money's worth in the obvious, the elephant in the room. So I'm pretty happy with this one. All right. See you guys when we're pulling this rear axle, I guess. All right, this should be the last day of disassembly on this car. Honestly, if I had like a full day straight to work on it, I'd probably get it done in one day, but you know, single full-time father, so gotta work when I can, pretty much. Flying solo today. But it's okay, I've got a helper. He's helping me get the rear end up. Well, you guys have already met Clark. Well, this is Crown. Say hi to Crown. And Crown is gonna help me get this rear end out safely, I hope. Safely. All right. I know I say a lot. It's just, sorry. I'll try not to. Some people swear an awful lot, but I just do weird things like that a lot. I already got the upper shock mounts off, which I thought were coilovers, but I don't see any springs on the back of this thing. So that's, is that just how these are? Or are they just like internal springs? I don't understand what's going on here. Anywho, got the rear shocks disconnected on the top. Got the sway bars disconnected from the top mount. I think my next step is going to be get the sway bar all the way off so I can get the lower shock mounts. Disconnect brake lines and then do the control arms. All right, well, wish me luck. Uh-oh. What is holding it up? It's out. And I just realized it's got a aftermarket upper control arm set up on it too. You probably can't see it too well, but All right, I drag this out of here and get that upper control arm out, and this thing will pretty much be done, I believe. And there you have it. Rear axle's out, and I did not injure myself, which is always a plus. Closer look at that rear control arm setup. I think those are BMR. I don't remember the exact model. Still don't know what kind of coilovers these are, and I was wrong about the springs. I forgot they were mounted inboard. So never mind the previous comment. I'm just a DUMBASS. It does, however, look like the differential was opened up at some point. So thinking about popping the cover off to see if anything was done internally. I mean, I could always do the old counting test. You mark the pinion, mark the axle, turn the axle, and count how many times the pinion turns for every revolution of the axle. You do that, that's an easy way to figure out gear ratio. So I might throw this thing up on jack stands and take a peek inside of it, because it looks like the cover's been off once before. That doesn't look like factory gasket material. At least I don't think it is. Could be wrong. All right, let me get that upper control arm off.
I'll put the 24 where the 22 goes. Oh dang, that's the whole thing. It looks totally different from the old stock one.
And you know there's somebody out there that needs this.
Oh yeah.
If you only knew what it was for, exactly what it was for. These seals.
So I noticed that the diff cover was off of this thing once before. So I did some investigative work and discovered it's got a precision 410 ring and pinion in it. So bonus. Makes this rear end even easier to sell and worth a little bit more money. Oh, and there you have it. I just need to get all my tools out of there and send this to the scrap yard in the sky, I guess. Would love to know what happened to this car, if you know who owned it, or maybe you owned it. There is the object of my desire. Was it worth all the work? Yeah, I think so. I totally think it was. I actually enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun. I used to part out the Fox body Mustangs after I got out of high school, and that was a lot of fun, ripping those cars apart. I did discover that the trailing arm on this side was pressed right up against the header tube right here and actually indented it. And it wasn't like it was right up against the indentation, and the header doesn't look bent. So if you remember, you probably don't, the white car I just took apart actually had the exact same headers on it, the same manufacturer and everything. So I took a couple measurements off of those at the collectors. I used this point right here, right about center to center on the collectors from side to side, and then I measured from the outside here, and it was dead on. It was 23 inches here and like 26 and a half here, and it was the same both sides, you know, both motors. So these headers are still straight. Which means only one thing, that BMR tubular K-member's junk. It's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure it's bent. I'll show you, which is a real shame, because that is gonna be a couple $100 back. Oh, let's see if you can see it in here. So if you look, this bar kind of comes on like a straight angle. See that? And if you look at this one, it kind of curves. It's got a curve to it. And this is kind of cocked in, whereas this is more straight. These tabs are twisted in that way. So, and I know this floor isn't the best, but yeah. Actually, you can see it kind of right here too. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but if you look here, it comes straight, and then it kind of twists that way a little bit. So, K-member's junk, unfortunately. I threw it up in one of the Facebook groups for free. I said, I'm pretty sure this thing's bent. The only real way you're going to tell is if you try to put it on a car, but I cannot in good faith sell it to anybody, so if anybody thinks they could do anything with it, you're welcome to have it. I'm sure someone will take it and do something with it. It's a shame, but it's what it is. Did find the rear axle has a 410 gear in it, so, and it looks pretty fresh, so I think it was done about the same time everything else was. From what I could tell, all the mods have like 5,000 or 6,000 miles on them, which is freaking awesome. Transmission is completely untouched, not damaged. The motor is completely untouched, not damaged. Supercharger kit is, well, the head unit itself and mounting brackets and all that are totally fine. I will need to get some new intercooler piping, which I probably am going to have made anyways, since it's not going back in a Mustang. So that was kind of a expected issue anyways. But as far as the engine goes, it's 100% intact. There's not a thing wrong with it. I was able to start it and run it, and saw they had good oil pressure and revved it, and it's a good motor. So I was more bummed about the header than I was the K-member, but after I got those measurements, I realized that the header is still straight. It just has a big old dent right here in the primary, which can be pulled out, believe it or not. You can heat that up and pull it out. So it's probably what is going to happen to it. I think there was another one up here from the steering shaft, maybe like right here. So, but I don't even know if these will work in my car or not. I'm hoping they will, because they hug up against the motor real nice. Oh, we'll see what happens. But there you have it. Got a excellent Coyote donor motor and transmission for Pvt.Pile. Next step would be getting the carcass out of here, cleaning up my tools, of course, putting all those back, and figure out when I can get Pvt.Pile over here and rip its heart and soul out of there, so we can get moving on that project, because I really want to start getting some of these projects done. So hoping that you guys are my motivation to do that. It works both ways, you know. One hand washes the other. I'm not going to go there. Anywho, but yeah, if you or anyone you know knows this car that I just took apart, I'd really would love to hear the story. I mean, I'd love to see a couple pictures of what happened to it, because that's part of the fun for me, is trying to figure out what happened to these cars. And this one's a head scratcher. It's because it's got damage all the way down the driver's side, the front end, the roof, the floor, the exhaust, the left rear corner. It's just somebody did a number on this car, and somebody out there knows what that number was. Oh, all right, I'm gonna get cleaned up and get out of here. Oh, see you later.